Good morning, beloved brothers and sisters, on this Tuesday, March 22nd, 2016. Today, we offer prayer to the family of the victims of the Brussels terrorist attack that took place early this morning, and prayer for those that have been injured. The death toll is climbing. When I reported on this earlier this morning, there were 28 dead and scores of injured, and the death toll now has risen. Between the two bombings that took place in the airport and at the metro station, now the death toll is up in excess of 40 dead and scores injured by this senseless, ruthless attack by radical Islamic jihadists. And I want to touch on this if I can. We have not seen that type of terrorist attack in the United States of America for the past 7 years. Islam, radical Islam, ISIS terror cells, even though our borders are wide open, and the liberals, the Democrats, Barack Hussein Obama, Hillary Clinton and company, wanting to keep the borders wide open, how many of these terrorist cells have already infiltrated the United States of America? Look at Dearborn, Michigan. I'm not that far from Dearborn, Michigan. Before the 9/11 attacks in New York City, Dearborn, Michigan was the most populated city in all of the United States for Muslim citizens that have become citizens of the United States. The most populated Muslim community in the United States of America. We've seen the terror attacks in France and now in Belgium and Brussels, but nothing in the United States, even though our borders, like in Europe, are wide open. Barack Obama has been the president of the United States for the past 7 years, and his reign as president is winding down. Why have there been no terror attacks in the United States? No bombings of airports in the United States? Innocent lives lost. We did see in San Bernardino the bombing by this husband and wife team, but nothing massive like we see going on in France or in Brussels as we see today. Could it be that the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States, having a Muslim name, Barack Hussein Obama, and being of the Muslim faith, could it be because of his radical views defending Islam, the religion of Islam, the Muslim populations, that they're holding off until he leaves office? Once the presidency changes hands, it's going to be open season on the United States of America. We're going to continue this. I'm going to have my coffee. Let me know what you're going to share with PD this morning. What are you having for breakfast? Hold on. I want to touch on this. The news media, the politicians in the United States, and that's what they are, politicians, will have you believe that Islam is a religion of peace. But you have over here these radical jihadists, Islamic jihadist terrorists like ISIS, that make it a religion of hate, of violence, of murder, of killing. But the majority of Muslims are peaceful. Well, let me give you a wake-up call in case you didn't have enough coffee. The Quran that is used by these radical jihadist terrorists, the same words of Muhammad, the pedophile, written in the Quran, the jihadist ISIS terrorist Al-Qaeda are reading and following is the exact same words that the so-called peaceful Muslims are reading. The radical jihadists are acting out and doing what the Quran and Muhammad tells them to do. The so-called peaceful Muslims are reading the exact same hate and murder and violence by this Muhammad, who is dead. Jesus is alive. They may not be acting out. They may not be strapping a suicide vest on and blowing up an airport, but they have the same belief that there is no other religion but Islam, that those that do not follow the Islamic faith and Muhammad are the enemy. They may not be strapping on a suicide vest, but they hate us. They walk among us in our communities. Look what's happened to the United States of America. Mom and pop stores are gone. When you walk into your local party store, convenience store, there is a person of Middle Eastern descent who owns your local party store. Now, I'm not talking about those that come from the Middle East or from Iraq that are Christian, and many of them are. But there is a difference, and you can tell. Many of the Chaldeans are Christians, even though they follow the Catholic faith, but they are not radical. They are not Muslim. They're Christians. But everywhere you go, now when you go into a pizza parlor, you think you're getting some Italian food. The owners are of the Muslim, radical, jihadist, Muslim, Muhammad-believing faith. They've taken over every aspect of business in the United States of America. The mom and pop corner garage where you take your car to get fixed is not mom and pop anymore. It's Allah and Samir's auto repair shop. And they hate us. They hate Christians. They hate anyone that doesn't believe the way they do. I can tell you firsthand, I worked in the city of Dearborn. I worked in downriver Detroit for an Arabic family that were Muslim. They believed in Islam, and they followed Islam. And the son told me, he said, you know, we can't stand you. We cannot stand you. He said, you see, when I have a customer come in, an elderly woman, and I'll set her down and I'll go get her a cup of coffee. He says, in the back of my mind, I would like to just strangle her and spit in her face. We are taking over. We don't like you. And that is the fact. There is no peaceful religion. Islam is not a religion of peace. It's a religion of hate. Some act out. Some keep it inside. There are no peaceful Muslims in the United States. And when Barack Obama fades away into the sunset, it's open season on our open borders. We need to pray without ceasing to bring God back into this country, prayer back into this school. Maybe Donald Trump is right. We need to do something. We need to build a wall. Not to tear down a wall and open the borders. Because when this Muslim president leaves office, it's open season on the United States of America. I want to share that with all of you. Heading out to the city of Flint this morning, Detroit tomorrow. We've had only one offering to our ministry, and that was from Lynn, an offering to our homeless ministry of $5. We can't do this without your help. We need your help. If the Holy Spirit convicts you that this is God's ministry that is anointed in the end days to help with the homeless crisis, I'll put the link to our ministry below. These are my thoughts. God bless you today. I encourage your comments.